Welcome to another episode on the channel. In today's video, I have what appears to be a very tired old Lincoln. So let's take a look at it, see if it's worth putting any money into and fixing it, or if it's better just to part it out. Now, close to 10 years ago, I bought a white MKX, a 2008, off of Craigslist at the time. So a local person had wrecked it. They didn't go through insurance or anything, so I bought it with a clean title, fixed it, and my parents bought it, and they drove it for several years, and they loved that car. Then my dad sold it. My mom has been pissed since then, and she wanted another Lincoln. So I found this one on Insurance Auto Auction this week. It didn't look very bad in the pictures. It's got a little over 100,000 miles. They wanted another beater car for the winter in Northeast Ohio. So this one is all-wheel drive, and I mean, it's pretty filthy from being at the auction, and it looks pretty tired, but I think we could bring it back. Once we get it in on the lift, we'll see really how bad it is. So it was totaled out for this accident in the back. Something hit it pretty low. It didn't get into the hatch. It pretty much went under it, and it shoved the exhaust. You can't see it, but the exhaust is still in there, but it shoved it back and kinked the exhaust tube kind of like under the back seats. So it will need an exhaust. I can grab that from LKQ. I did pull the Carfax on it. It's a fairly interesting Carfax. We'll go through it a little bit later, but it was sold new in Illinois and spent 10 years there, but only racked up 35,000 miles while in Illinois. And it's not rusty. The door bottoms are not rusty. Again, once it's up on the lift, you'll be able to see it's not very rusty. And after that 10 years, it went to Georgia, and that's where it stayed for the next 7 years. The interior, it's dirty, but the seat isn't ripped up. I can clean that up. I can clean up all the interior stuff, but it definitely has some wiring that I need to go through. So when I got in the car, trim piece here was loose, so I pulled it out, and then I noticed that the radio surround is all chewed up. So somebody had an aftermarket radio in it. So I need to pull this the rest of the way out and make sure that all the wiring is still in there behind the radio and didn't get all chewed up. So it does work. Now, let's see. The battery's dead again. So sitting 2 months in the auction, it has a completely dead battery. I'll have to jump it again. But the radio did power on, and this speaker worked very poorly, so it is blown, but that one works. The back ones, I didn't hear any sound out of it, so I took a flashlight and looked in the speaker grill, and there's no speaker in the back. So I'll have to pull the door panel off of it to see, hopefully the wiring is still in there, and then just get some speakers off of Crutchfield. And then I found this under the back seat. So somebody definitely had a system in it. So I'll need to make sure the wiring is all correct. But the accident in the back, very light. The seats aren't, so I sat in the seats. They're not twisted or anything, so I think they should be fine with that light of an impact. I don't need to replace those. But as luck would have it, the local LKQ pull-apart has a 2007 MKX in this red that just came in 2 days ago. I'm guessing bad engine, transmission, or something, because the body looks perfect on it. So I'll go over there and see, and hopefully I can steal the bumper cover and any other body parts that I need for it. The exhaust, if it's not on that one for some reason, that's the same as an Edge of the same generation. I guess first thing, I'm going to get it up on the lift. That way I can kind of do an inventory of what I need to grab at the LKQ in the morning, at least all the major stuff. So I'm sure some small stuff will come up, but I want to at least grab the major stuff, especially the red bumper that's on the other one. So hopefully we don't have to do any paint work. Got it situated on the lift, so if I need to raise it to get the bumper off, I can do that easily. It appears to be pretty simple. Just there's a few fasteners on the inside of the wheel well liner. It appears that it's just clipped on up here, and then a few clips and push pins through here. And I think the tail lights can stay in, so this shouldn't take too long. I know the brackets across the bottom are broken off. Only took a few minutes to get the bumper off, and like I said, a few screws. It's clipped along the edge here, and a few screws across the top and push pins, and it pulls right off. So the bumper cover is trash. It's torn, dented. It doesn't make sense to try to repair it. Surprisingly, all of the parking sensors are in good shape. They're not scratched, and it works. I backed it up towards the building, and it beeped like it's supposed to. The wire harness is in good shape, except for this one license plate light. I've got to fix that. That's easy. I'll pull the harness off and plug it back in and check to make sure all of the marker lights and the license plate lights, the bulbs themselves are good. And if I need to grab some, I'll grab those. Now the body, this was a very light impact. It's pretty obvious that it was hit by a car, and it went under and shoved the exhaust forward, and it just kind of rolled this under a little bit. But if we look down the sides of it, there are no wrinkles in the quarter. The alignment of the hatch is fine. The gaps are even on both sides. So that's where it's supposed to be. The door lines are fine. Everything opens and closes like it's supposed to on this side. Same with this side. And door gaps are fine. No buckles or anything in the body. So with it a little higher in the air, let's take a look under the car. So again, it was hit by something pretty low. It just rolled this under a little bit and then shoved the exhaust forward. I was a little worried that it shoved the exhaust in the front and may have tore this flex pipe, but with the car running, it doesn't make any noise, like no exhaust leaks or anything. And if we look at this hanger, it's where it's supposed to be. So it kinked it here, kinked it there, and that's about where the damage is. So when I go to the LKQ, if I find one with a good exhaust, I'll probably cut it somewhere in the middle of this straight piece of pipe, and then I can get an exhaust clamp and put it back together, and that should be good. Now for the structure of the car, we've got the structural rails right there, and there's no damage, there's no buckling, there's nothing there on this side. And passenger side, same thing, no buckling. So it's a pretty light hit. We do have a little bit of buckling right around here in the pan. This is just thin sheet metal, so it buckles pretty easily. Like I said, there's no structural damage, so you could just throw a bumper cover on this and an exhaust, and it would be good to go. I'm going to try to pull this back a little bit, get it squared up, get a new bumper bar, and get it to mount up here. So I can probably put a chain around it on this side and the other side and do what I've done before. Just hook it to a tree and just kind of massage it back a little bit into place. Again, it's a almost 20-year-old car with over 100,000 miles. We're not going to go and replace this pan just for the visual aspect here. It is completely safe. It's structurally sound. We just need to get everything to fit back into place. I did forget to mention, even though there's a little bit of wrinkling of the pan down here, the hatch fits perfectly. With the bumper cover off, I can see underneath here, and there's no movement of the sealing surface of the hatch to the body. So it didn't push the latch or anything forward, but I'll get it down on the ground and roll it back a little bit so I can get the doors open, and then we'll take a look at the inside. For the interior, here's what I have found. We'll start with the radio. It appears that everything is factory in here, so I'm guessing the aftermarket radio they had adapter harnesses, so this hasn't been chopped up. So that's good. We can reuse that. So I will just need to grab a bezel, since this one looks like it has been chewed by a mouse, to get the aftermarket head unit to fit. The trim piece down here is okay. We can reuse it. Now for the speakers, I need to get a bunch of screws. They only put a couple of the screws back in the door panels. But if we pull this out here, so that looks like the factory speaker, but it's kind of cobbled together with butt connectors, which you would use that for the aftermarket ones, but I'm guessing they cut off the harness. Now, the door tweeter, it is unplugged. The harness, there's a little pigtail harness for it. It was just kind of wrapped up in here, but not connected to anything. So I'll have to look at a car over the junkyard to see what's going on. For the back door, the speaker's just missing, just completely missing. That's fine. We got wiring here. I can either grab a new set of speakers off of Crutchfield or something for pretty cheap, or just grab factory ones when I'm over the junkyard. But subwoofer ground cable back here, it's just grounded to the bolt for the seat, so that's easy to take out. No issue there. So really not too bad to sort this stuff out. We'll head over to the junkyard here in a little bit, grab what I can, and we'll update when I get back. I ended up with a pretty good score at the LKQ. They did have the red MKX still with the red bumper on it. Unfortunately, it's in a little rough shape. The top of it's all cracked, the clear coat's starting to peel, but it's not torn, it's not dented or anything. So I'll put it on as is, and then when it gets up to Dad, if he wants to bring it into the shop and paint it, that's up to him. And actually, that side's okay. The passenger side on this lower piece is torn as well. I can get a cheap one of those on eBay, and then when he goes to paint it, he could swap it. I've got my reinforcement, and I've got the exhaust, which was a very dicey proposition. So at the LKQ, they always put two stands in the front of the car and then one in the center of the back of the car. Well, on every MKX and Edge, they had the stand underneath the exhaust. So luckily I found the jack in the back of the Edge that I pulled this off of, and using some very dicey methods of putting a wheel on the ground and using that jack to jack up the car, I was able to get that stand out from under the muffler and get it out. I would not recommend anybody do that because the car could have fallen, but whatever, it's out. And then in here we've got our new trim bezel. I've got 4 speakers. I've got the wire harnesses for all of them and a rear bezel, as well as the tie-down nut for the spare tire. Now the speakers, I did say I'd probably get new ones, but these are pretty easy to check. So out in the sun, I looked at them, and like the foam isn't torn, the connection to the magnet isn't torn, so those should be okay. I'll put them in and see. But Ford has the cheapest speakers in the world. These are just awful. These are the front ones. They're terrible. So let's take a look at the bill. If you're lucky, you get somebody who doesn't care that works there. So in my case, I was pretty lucky. So she only charged me for the upper bumper cover. The black plastic piece at the bottom is supposed to be separate, but she only charged it as one. She only charged for 2 speakers. She didn't charge me for the bezel. She didn't charge me for the nut. She didn't charge me for the little pigtails. So yeah, we ended up pretty decent. It's pretty much everything to get this car back on the road, maybe not looking 100%, but to get it back on the road, $258. So that's really not bad. Oh, and another $16 for an exhaust clamp. So that's not bad. I think first thing I'm gonna get the interior back together. I'll swap over all the speakers, get the door panels back on, get the center bezel back in, the radio bezel back in. That way I don't have door panels and a bunch of random screws laying around. This is a pretty easy and quick repair with our solder connectors. So I've used these quite a bit for electrical repairs. All you need is the heat gun and the wire stripper. So we got the rear door and the front door back together. I'm gonna leave the door panel off until I get the radio back together, just so I know everything works before I put electrical tape on everything and clean all of this up. So front and back door are done, and we'll just repeat on the passenger side. All right, got everything back together. In here, we've got sound. So it seems like everything... So it seems like the radio, from the radio standpoint, everything's back together. I was very suspicious when I first got the car because all of the sill trim was loose, and I took it off, and yeah, we've got some connectors in there. So that's where they patched in to run dedicated wires up to their head unit. And same thing in the B-pillar trim. That's where they tapped in for the rear doors. But I think we got all of that situated, so I can go ahead and put the door panels back together, and then I'll swap the bezel on the rear hatch. Well, a little detour here. As I started to clean up the wiring and wire tape everything up, I noticed some extra wires here that weren't original. So I started digging, and we found an aftermarket alarm. And I noticed on the Carfax that this thing had been into the dealer multiple times for check electrical system, check electrical system, check electrical system. Now, I wonder if this has anything to do with it. So the alarm here is pretty much, they just took a little bit of insulation off of the wire and then wrapped their wire around it and then electrical taped it. So I wonder if that could be part of the problem, if they were having like suspicious battery drains or something. So I'm going to try to go through and remove all of this crap and tape everything back up. Well, the door panels are back on it. The hatch trim is back in it. I have not put the lower dash back together. I want to make sure that it starts. So this is the mess that I took out, and this is the aftermarket alarm system. So if you ever run across one of these, do not go and just start cutting wires to pull it out. Make sure you trace all of the wires and disconnect them, because if you don't get the entire thing out, then it may not start. But with it out, hopefully it'll start. I traced every wire, so there should be nothing of that system left here. And we're also assuming that the battery is charged enough for it to start. Let me get the jump pack. All right, now that I've got my jump pack on it and the aftermarket alarm system is out of it, let's see if it'll start. Ooh, that didn't sound good. All right. No problems there. Sounds like a nice healthy 3.5. I think this is a good place to stop for this video. In the next video, I will attempt to pull the bumper reinforcement back into place, reinstall the bumper, the exhaust, detail it, do the maintenance work, and then it can head to Ohio, to Northeast Ohio, to live the rest of its life. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel to keep up with the MKX project and this thing, which is full of a lot of gremlins, and I should have another video out on it shortly. So thanks for watching.